Hey guys, welcome back to another new moon collective reading. This new moon kind of crept up on me. It came so fast. I had to double check and make sure it was today, but yes, actually tomorrow. I like to record the video a night ahead. But yes, we will be having a new moon on Sunday, and I think it's going to be peaking around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I did already pre-pull the spread here, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So what I'm seeing here is the energy of those of us that are ready to step out, to take action, to step forward, to speak up, to communicate some type of a truth, or show with your actions, where you stand, how you feel, and do so in a way that is very public, very noticeable. So it is kind of indicating like stepping out into the open and saying something, communicating something, or standing firm with something, towards something in a very noticeable, visible, public way. And I feel that this decision to do this has come from a lot of thinking, contemplation, resting, pausing. Like, I don't think that this is impulsive at all. I feel like you're just at the point where you're ready. So it might seem like it's impulsive, from an outsider looking in. Maybe your words are a little not super composed or proper. Maybe you come through very bluntly, very forward, potentially even very short. But I think it's because it's kind of been a long time coming. I think this is something that has been marinating, something that someone has sat on and has really put thought into. And because this time was taken, this pause, this period to slow down and really reflect, to make sense out of things, and to really know where you stand about something, it has caused some type of internal shift from within. Like, there's an internal expansion that I see happening. The way that you are perceiving things is shifting, it's growing, it's changing. We do have the energy of like enlightenment here. So being enlightened to something, waking up to something, shining a light on something, and it just really changing your perspective for what you had in mind for the future, or what you had in mind even like for yourself as an individual. I just feel like something is completely shifting in how you see yourself and your role in this world. Like, it's like something has definitely been formed, because I'm seeing Chitra Nakshatra being represented here. And the ruling deity of Chitra is said to be the celestial architect. So every time I think of Chitra, I think of like this slow chipping away. So another way to think of it as well is the way that water slowly wears away at the rock. It's like something that happens gradually, very, very slowly, but it does cause an entire change, like a physical change. It's a chipping away at something that was maybe very stuck. So this process might not be, a very easy one, a very fun one. It can often be very painful, very disruptive and chaotic to go through that, but it reveals like a hidden treasure, kind of like the way that the diamond is formed. Diamonds are formed under pressure. It's just the natural alchemical process that happens from doing your soul work and the transformation that just comes from that. So I think, what I'm seeing here is that you guys have taken the time to do soul work, to go within, to clear your mind and really like sort through it in the pursuit of balance and finding that middle point, that middle path, being more neutral about things. So I feel like it has given a lot of you guys clarity and this desire to want to move forward out of rough waters. And I feel like, like a lot of your idea of like the future, or what you were going to do, or your purpose, what you were anticipating your future to be like, you are seeing like so much clearer in regards to that. And you are cutting cords. Like, you're to the point where you are seeing like what is aligning, what is not aligning, and being very like decisive about what you need to cut and maybe like what you need to strengthen. And this process can be, like I mentioned, very disruptive, very chaotic. It can be like a very hectic time because it's requiring for you to take action, for you to move in this direction. So for a lot of us, that means doing something different. That means letting go of certain things that now we see isn't really contributing to us in any way, but maybe it was serving as like a distraction. We're just seeing clearer, like being able to make better decisions, being able to use our discernment to a higher degree, to like be wise and to make better choices. And this, I feel, has been happening during a long period of time. So this is specifically geared towards those of you who have been putting in the work, who have been showing up, who have like taken that journey inwards to see, what your shortcomings are, basically like to face your own things that were blocking you potentially, that were distracting you, that were keeping you tied down in a place that wasn't serving you. Like you were just kind of like at a plateau and you weren't going to continue to expand and to grow. And now that's all changing as a direct reflection of this work that you've put in and what you've been able to unearth because of it. So it's just like a shift. Like I just see a complete shift happening, but we're still kind of in that chipping away phase. We're still working. It's still chaotic. It's still disruptive. There's still conflict and things are still crumbling. Things are still ending. We're not really like out of the woods just yet. Like we're kind of still in the midst, in the process of creating like a new outer structure. But I think Spirit is wanting to shine a light on the fact that like we're there. Even though we're finding ourselves still in this process, we are getting real close, if not like already there for some of you, because I'm seeing movement forward, I'm seeing leveling up, I'm seeing ending of a cycle. So I think like for a lot of us, it's like that we have made a decision, we have made a choice, or we have come to some sort of epiphany, some sort of awakening where we know something like really clearly. We've like leveled up or matured mentally in some way where we're able to make like smarter decisions. We're able to be more discerning now because I feel like we're not being impulsive. We're like being more reflective. It's like whenever those feelings of impulse come up, you're like, okay, where is this coming from? Like I'm not just going to react. I'm going to pause. I'm going to observe. What am I feeling? What's coming up? And kind of attribute it to something like where is this coming from? And when you can really like have the awareness and the patience and the consciousness to do that, that's like where the ultimate growth comes from. Because a lot of people, they have certain behaviors that may not be helpful, but they can't see it. They can't see it, so they continue to behave in certain ways, and they don't see like where their own troubles and problems stem from and how they keep perpetuating that. So when you're able to take responsibility and take accountability for yourself and come from this place of awareness, like it just helps you to be like more of a fair person. Like you're not just gonna blame or act out of impulse or get angry or like cause some type of commotion, but now it's like you're gonna approach things differently, with more patience, with more compassion, with more like a sense of like connection to other people, and just wanting to handle things like in a more diplomatic, fair way with others, as well as like in your own life and with yourself. So I do feel like it's being reflected here on many different facets. But yeah, it's just like becoming wiser, up-leveling, just being more mature, and like having a knowingness, like standing firm with like the way that you are viewing things and perceiving things, and like really standing firm, because I feel like you have like a very clear outlook right now. It's very clear. Again, it's because you took that time to think, to ponder, to change your mind about something, to adjust your viewpoint, to shift perspectives. Like I feel like this has taken time. This isn't something, that just started. This has taken time. So that could be part of the message as well, is that instead of being so impulsive, now we're just kind of slowing down, approaching situations different, from a different perspective, being able to see our role, our part of things, and therefore maybe holding others accountable for their part of things, or like being that person that has to like say, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore and here's why, or something like this, where you're going to start to like rock the boat or shift things, because like you're changing. So naturally this is going to cause a change in your reality in some way, like in your physical material reality in some way. This is going to affect that. And I think like that's the part that we're in right now, and that's the part that can seem very like painful and hectic and chaotic, because we're like reorganizing things and reshifting things and cutting things and walking away from things and, you know, like unblocking things so that we can just make better decisions, make better choices. Now, you know, having our new outlook and our new mindset that we've uncovered and that we feel very confident in now. You know, it's not something that is just new. It's something that you've really been sitting with. It's being ingrained like more and more and more, like this higher vibrational way of being and perceiving and existing. It's like you're just growing wiser from an internal level to the point that now it's breaking out and affecting your material world. So yes, I think Spirit is acknowledging like some hardships and some shakeups here, but they're also wanting to remind you that you are in the midst of this transformation. Stay curious, continue showing up, you know, for this internal, quiet, still time that you've been investing in. Continue to do that, because that's going to continue to give you like that peace of mind and that clarity to continue to lead you to that expansion and to like move forward while holding on to this enlightenment that you've been able to acquire through this process so far, right? So far. So yeah, and just like, because it's ingrained, it's becoming more ingrained in you, now you're gonna start acting, having this influence, which is great, you know. But in the beginning it can be a little bit crazy, because like it means change. It means destruction. It means dismantling old things. So that's conflicting. That can bring conflict, or just at the very least, it can bring like annoyance, like an annoyance. But knowing that you're doing it at the end of the day for like a bigger reason. Like it's not even just about you. You know, it's not only about yourself. You play a role in the bigger picture. So while yes, you know, it does start with your own individual experience, at the end of the day, you also influence people. You have an influence. You're a part of like a community, a group. This shift, this evolution, this change is like what you're doing to serve the collective in one way or another. It's like a domino effect. It's gonna influence you, and then you're gonna influence the next person, and then they're going to have their influence on the next person, and it just keeps growing and expanding from there. So you first have to like find that light inside of yourself, so that then you can hold it up in the dark for other people to see, for other people to find as well. We're just continuing to spread the light, spread the love, spread the awareness, and be a living embodiment of the change that we wish to see, you know, understanding that there's nothing in the physical world that we need to change. The only things that we can change is ourselves, our internal world, our internal landscape. And when you can influence people to do the same, that's where the true change comes from. It's not about fixing anything in the material or fixing anything in the external. So it's about taking responsibility for your inner world's view and acting in harmony with the natural order of the universe, versus imposing your own personal will onto the world to accommodate your own agenda. We could never change the world while we ourselves remain unchanged. So like Michael Jackson says, if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. And that's exactly what I see you guys doing here, you guys fully engaged on here. So I'm so proud of you guys. I want to say this is amazing work that you're doing. Thank you so much for being here and for showing up and for doing your part. Spirit is acknowledging it. Spirit is thanking you, because it's kind of having this understanding that the evolution of our species depends entirely on a new internal landscape within. And having that understanding, you are doing the work, you are doing your part, and because of that, you are being divinely protected. And I feel like many of you are already ready. You're ready to take action. You're ready to like get this show on the road with this, holding on to your enlightenment. Because it's actually like not that uncommon for people to reach enlightenment. It's actually very, very common for people to reach enlightenment. Because when you really think about it, the truths, these eternal truths, they're very simple. Spirit isn't trying to play like a trick on us, or isn't trying to give us like some grand riddle to solve. It's actually very simple at the core of it. So being enlightened is not as uncommon as one might think. It's, can you hold on to it? Can you move through life while holding on to this enlightenment, staying true to it, acting in accordance to this truth, to this higher order? And I feel like so many of you guys have, have done the work. You've gone through your process, and you're kind of finding yourself right at the end, like right at the precipice of being able to lead an entirely different life, because your actions are now going to reflect this wisdom that you have. And you're coming through, like you're coming in hot, okay? Which is great, because we want to be, if it's with this type of an energy, this is when we want to be coming in hot, okay? And this is when it's actually encouraged, and when we're actually divinely protected to do so. So this is great. This is actually super positive, super beautiful. I'm thinking for the majority of us, of course, use your discernment, and you're going to have to place yourself wherever you fall on this spectrum. So either, you could still be in the mid, still kind of like still in your hermit period where you're still pulling back and pausing. You could still be in the phase where you're dismantling certain things, still dealing with a lot of conflict, or you're at the point where you are ready. You've done it, you've been there, you are ready to take some action now, to like take charge and take some actions and move very decisively in a different direction, in a new direction, not caring who sees or who knows, because this is your truth. It's kind of like you're just living in alignment now with what you feel inside. Okay, so that was our collective reading for this new moon. Absolutely incredible. I absolutely love this energy. Way to go, guys. Great work. I want to remind you that I do offer personal readings. If you would like to go deeper into your specific situation, I'd be more than happy to connect with you and to work with you and provide any guidance and insight. I'll leave my contact info in the description box below. Happy new moon, enjoy, and until next time, bye.